Hi guys, this is Raquel with paintsandglitter.com, and today I'm bringing you a new video regarding the Cricut Design Space print and cut feature using the ability to upload images. And I just wanted to quickly give you some information that might come in handy to you. When you're selecting an image to print and cut in Design Space, there will be several different types that you can choose from. There are JPG or JPEG files, SVG, and PNG files that you can use, and Design Space does say that you can use some others, but I guess I'll give you some pointers as I go along. The first thing that you want is you want the image that you have selected. Most of us get them from the internet, but if you go to your browser on your computer, you can search for the type of image you want to use. In my case, I'm just going to type in here ephemera, and that's spelled with an A at the end. So let's see here. What I'll do is I had been searching some images for a project that I'm working on, so immediately you'll see several images come up, and some of these you have to purchase, some of them are available for free, depends on the copyright on the images, but you can definitely, you know, select images on your screen and you're going to see very, you know, there's a bunch of different kinds that you can select from. So depending on what you're working on, you would pick an image and then say you want to save it. You found what you like, then you then select where on your computer you want to save that image to. I would suggest that, you know, you look at the image and see how clear it is before you even save it. And of course that, you know, you're not taking an image that's not for public use. But in any case, say, you know, you found what you like, and let's see here. I'm just going to, let's see, pick something here that I might like. So I'm just going to right click on the image and then save image as, and then here I'm just going to go to my desktop. So I'm just going to click desktop there. And I can change the name, and I'll just write bird image. And then here you're going to see the type of image that this is. This is a JPEG image, which means that it's a picture file, okay? Or, you know, it's best used for picture files, but in any case I could save that there, and then once I click save, that will be found on my desktop. So I just wanted to show you here. I will be able to find it then on my desktop. So here it is, bird image. I can open it, and then I can see here more information about that image. Sorry, that was a different one that I had just saved for a video that didn't work out. So, but I get to see how that image saved onto my desktop. In this case, I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to go ahead and use a different one, which is the one that you guys saw a minute ago here. But I'm going to go to Design Space, okay? So let's close out of that. We don't need that tab anymore. But say you have your image now saved onto your desktop or wherever it is you like to save images on your computer. Then you can go to Upload Image in Design Space, and then you can click Upload Image and Browse. Then you can go back to your desktop or wherever you saved your image. And in my case, I like to save them on a particular file area here. Here's the bird image that I had just picked and saved. And then I can open it, and as you see here, there's my image. Now here you're going to see the file endings that you can use, okay? So to give you the little pointer that I had for you, the JPEG images are best, this is best for picture files. And then SVG images are best for simple, flat and simple graphics, meaning straight lines and things like that. Especially if you're looking to size your images, okay? Some of them are not they don't size as well because they lose information if you compress them. In any case, PNG files, PNG are best for transparency. So if you're, a lot of people ask, you know, I try to upload an image and I see that it came in as you know, wonky, it didn't upload correctly. You want to take a look at that file ending before you upload it to see what you should expect. Because if it has multiple layers, that could be that it's just not transferring well because you may have compressed it, or you know, the file lost information, and that's why you're having that issue. You may need to clean it up in a separate application before you bring it into Design Space. So when I upload an image, I try to take a look first off at how many layers are there that are just visible layers, meaning the different colors, the textures that are on the actual picture that I'm using. And according to that, then I'll pick from these choices here on the right hand side. I rarely use the simple. I usually start off with complex, just because I want Design Space to recognize that there are multiple colors and that sort of thing here. So I'll click continue, and that blue and white that you saw back here, none of this is going to show. Okay, so it immediately recognizes that the file is at least this small. Okay, so now this is what you're going to see here as far as what the file would look like. Now this is extremely blurry. I wouldn't even use a file like this, but this is just for the sake of, you know, showing you guys an example. If I see something like this, that immediately I can see that the lines are not too clear, that sort of thing, then I don't bother with an image like that. I try to make sure that before I even proceed that image is nice and crisp. But just to show you the advanced options here, you can reduce colors on an image. This is best, especially if you're trying to work with silhouettes, things like that. But you can reduce the colors and see it simplifies the image much more. Once you've done that, you know, you can preview it to see. You know, you can fiddle with the color tolerance also. So these are here for, you know, it's really for your advantage. And then you can preview the image. In this case, because it's a print image and not a cut image, then it's just showing you what would cut out, which is just a panel there. But you can continue, and then you're going to see the two options that you have here. But if you don't want, say for instance, that white border there, you can go back, and then here, let's see here, you can actually, you know, by clicking that, I actually got rid of the background, but I'm just going to undo that. You can select with these buttons here on the left what it is you want to take away from that image. In my case here, then I would probably select the border just to see if anything happens there, but it doesn't, I'm not able to see it. So, okay, let's just click continue. And let's just say I'm happy with that. Then I would select, obviously in this case, a print image, not a cut image, because if you select for this to be a cut image, it's not going to print anything out. It'll just automatically cut a shape, and in this case it's just going to be a rectangle. But at least here you also get to see how is it that this image will cut. It is going to cut this size once it's printed, so it will cut out with a white border. You can save it with more details here if you want to. You can add a tag of, you know, bird, just in case you want to look it up later on. It'll make it easier for you. And then you get to save. And of course, because it's green, highlighted here in green, that it will save as a print image. And here you see it now for me to select. Okay, so once it's there, I can use it on a project. Now I'm going to show you a different one because I already printed it out and everything, but this is the image. It's also a JPEG image, meaning that, or JPG image. It's a picture file that I had selected, and then I just click insert, Okay, and once it's on my mat here, just like any other die cut, now I can select the size that I want to work with. I had picked 3.5 by 2.5 because it's going to be for some ephemera, or I wanted to use it as ephemera for some ATCs. So once I sized it, then I just selected duplicate. Okay. And again, this is going to be one flat image that's going to be printed, but I want to show you here. You can line it up. If you want to be very precise, you can click select all and then align it with these buttons here, depending on how you want to distribute your image. So that is available there for you, which saves paper. Or you can eyeball it like I just did here, and then, you know, bring them close together, select all of them and then group them. So you can do that too. Okay, so that's all going to be together now. Now on the upper right hand side here, you can just click make it, and you'll see that before I even send it to be made, I just want to show you here, this little icon here immediately lets me know that this is a print image. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it not cutting, even though it's got that little red slash there. That just means that I'm not able to manipulate that image. Okay, I'm not going to be able to change the color of it now, but it does mean with that little printer icon that this is a print and cut image, and by default it will cut the outer edge that we already saw in the preview. So I can click make it, and it's going to show that border. That border is just for the machine to know its parameters. It's still an 8.5 by 11 type format. It won't print 12 by 12 at this point, even if you have a 12 by 12 printer, and that's just because of, you know, just other issues that have to do with the machine not being a word processing type image machine. So anyway, once you select that, you can click continue, and then, which you're not able to see on this screen, but it's on the lower right hand corner there, it's going to prompt you as to which machine you're using automatically, and then you can click select a printer. Now what I wanted to show you here is that here is where you get to see which document or printer you're using. You get to select it, however many copies you want to make, and then the bleed button is for you to be able to have that color go all the way to the edge of your image. If you turn that off, you will have a white border, because that means you don't want the color to bleed. But for a clean cut, I suggest you leave the bleed on, so that way once that blade goes through, it's still going to be cutting on part of that image, but it won't take away from what you want. And so the final result will be something like this. So I'm going to, let's see if I can move this around, and I apologize, I just wanted to make sure the light hits the image here so you guys can see. I don't know if you can, maybe not. Let me see if I can move this. Here you go. So I'll try to zoom in. Here we go. So here's the image, and what I did was that I just ran it through my printer, you know, the paper, heavy cardstock, and then you can definitely change the type of material. If you have a printer that will handle other types of material other than just regular paper, of course, you can do that, or vinyl, or whatever, wherever you want to print it. And then what I did was that I used some glass beads and then some other, you know, different mediums there to alter it, because I'm going to be using it for a project. So hopefully this answers some questions. The next screen that would show up once you click print on your Cricut or design space is going to be to select your material. So, you know, there you can fiddle around and see which one it is that you want to use. I tend to use heavy cardstock, whether it be 80 or 110 pound cardstock. because it handles the color much better, but you can definitely even use photo paste.